So when you mentioned this topic, it instantly brought to my mind something which I attended a couple of years ago. We invited a keynote speaker, and this guy, what he was doing was he was advising the government and stuff about certain cybersecurity issues, and he was advising about general security on the internet. It was really, really good. You know, the Chutney and Chat event, it was in Derby.
Okay.
So he was talking about how it's so possible to get to know people's information without them even thinking that would be possible to get it in that way. Like he would do things like he would go into, in fact, because we couldn't record it, he said specifically, don't record this particular keynote speech because we usually record keynote speeches. Yeah.
Okay.
He said, don't record this one because I'm going to show you stuff which shouldn't be put into the public platform. But I'm sure he won't mind sharing. Well, I'm not even mentioning who he is, but
yeah,
he was going into like well-known people's Facebook profiles, for example.
Okay.
And looking at what pictures they liked, whose comments, whose post they'd commented on, even though it was not possible to see that. They weren't even be connected. He wasn't even connected with these people. He wasn't even connected with these people.
But he was seeing these posts.
Yeah, so he'd put a code in. He'd showed what kind of code he was putting in.
Oh, like a hack.
Like a hack.
Okay,
yeah.
Interesting.
So he was going into people's Facebook profiles and checking whose post they'd liked, right? What kind of comments they'd put in, all that kind of stuff, and it was really, really fascinating to see. And one of the things that he brought up was, he says, look, there's so many ways you can get to see people's information.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many ways you can see what people are doing without you being connected to them. So your information that you think is private isn't actually private.
Yeah.
Well, it is private for the general public, but those who know what to look for, they will find information on you. So let me give you an example. When you go on holiday,
Okay.
and a lot of people go on holiday and then they share their pictures from holiday whilst they're on holiday. He says, never do that. Never share pictures of your holiday whilst you're on holiday.
Is this to do with using an unsecure internet?
No, he says, well, look, first of all, you're sharing with the public that you're not at home.
Good point.
Right? And even when you've got pictures of people like your kids, right? There is this whole different thing about the safety about kids, and you know, the security and privacy measures that need to be taken when it comes to kids, and how secure they are because of people who, you know, who prey on that kind of thing. And he was saying, just you taking pictures of kids and posting them on Facebook, right, can reveal what that kid is, what the name of that child is, where that post was, or where that picture was actually taken. In pictures, when you open your camera, there's something called geotagging. You might have come across it.
Heard of it. I've heard of the term, yeah.
So geotagging is, it tags your picture, your image, of the location in which that image was taken. So if you've taken a picture of your kid at school, it's got a geotag there, approximately whereabouts that picture was taken. So if you don't, you know, want someone to know where you live or where your kid is studying and whatever,
which school they go to, yeah,
it's all there. You just take the picture and you extract that geotag from there to find out exactly where it was taken. All this information is embedded
that we don't realize. And the thing is, it can be dribs and drabs of information. So at one point you've given away, I don't know, the road that you live on. In a completely non-related post, you posted a picture of, I don't know, your car or your kid's first day at school, or a water fight in the garden, where your door number is visible in the background, which is not what you've taken a picture of, but it's featured in there. Separately to that, you've shared your birthday. So you've given away your date of birth. You know, at another time you've marked, I don't know, your 21st or your 40th. So now they know the year as well.
When you were born,
So they've got your address. Obviously, postcode is easy to find. Date of birth, your name, because your name is there. That's more or less what you need to take out most forms of credit, isn't it, nowadays?
Yeah, exactly.
The rest comes up, yeah.
Exactly.
Wow, okay.
Has anything ever happened like that to you? Something happened to me recently. Somebody got car insurance on my name.
That's a strange one.
Yeah, I got a letter through the post to say that, you know, your insurance payment hasn't gone through, so please contact us. Like from 3 different companies.
Okay. Did you was there a car details?
No, it was just a policy number. So I called this company and I said, look, I don't even insure my car with you. What car,
Yeah.
you know, what
Who
you're
are
on about?
you?
And yeah, exactly. And they said, can you confirm your car details? When I called them, they said, can you confirm your car details? And I'm like, I confirmed my car details. Well, actually, they said, we don't have that car registered. I go, yeah, so tell me, which car details do you have
Do
registered?
you have? Yes.
And he accidentally told me. He's not supposed to tell me according to their own
Yeah, data protection.
rules. I said, I don't even own a car that, you know, that car. And then, so there were several companies who were insuring this person using just my name and address. Somebody
Okay.
who got to know where I live, they got my name, and they made up an email address
Yeah.
representing my name,
Okay.
very similar to my name, and they started insuring their vehicles on there.
So now they're driving around, presumably in their own car, insured as Majid Virus.
Yeah.
Why?
So they've got
insurance, so they're less
for a
likely
short
to be.
period, yeah, whatever that period is, for whatever reason that might be.
Oh, okay. You didn't post about your no claims bonus or something, did you?
No, I actually got plenty of no claims, but yeah, it's.
There you go. If you didn't know before.
But it's true that, you know, we leave our digital footprint everywhere, don't we?
Yes.
I was concerned about, you know, if you register a business as a limited company, I don't know, I think they might have changed that now, because from GDPR rules, they stated that we're going to change that. If you register the business as a limited company, then your details as a director would be everywhere on the internet. Company's House would even publish your details on the internet, where you live, what your date of birth is, what your address is.
Which is surprising, really, because a lot of that is unnecessary information that they're sharing with the public, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is why I think a lot of people on Company's House, they use correspondence addresses. Usually, you know, their accountants or their bookkeepers or their registered office, as to not to give away their home address. But then, is it necessary? It's not. I don't think it is. Date of birth.
Yeah.
Why do we need to know?
Or the home address.
Yeah.
You know, why would you?
There's no need. Absolutely no need. But the digital footprint is. The internet never forgets. Which is true, isn't it?
This is true.
It doesn't run out of memory. It doesn't, you know, refresh and delete and restore new stuff. I mean, I do that with my phone from time to time. My memory gets full. I'll go back and I'll realize I've got 6,000 pictures of my cat. You know, I'll keep the best ones, which is only about 5,000, and then get rid of the excess ones just to free up memory. But with the internet, anything that's ever gone into the internet probably still lives.
Have you ever Googled your own name?
Yes.
What did you find? Were you surprised?
Company's House.
Yeah. Well, you know, try this. If you're watching this, Google your own name after the show and see what you find, because you might be surprised at what kind of stuff is out there. Here's another issue, because let's just say you're looking for a job, or you're going to visit a client, or you're, you know, going into a recruitment process, whatever the case might be. Nowadays, companies do look at your social media presence or your digital presence as part of their vetting process. Yeah. So when they see you, imagine someone's gone for a night out and they've taken pictures with their buddies, I don't know, with their pants on their heads or something.
Buddies, right?
I'm assuming it's a bloke going out with a bloke.
Yeah,
just an example, right? And they've, I don't know, whether it's a stag do, whatever, they've got onto some kind of antics, right? And it's there on the internet because they've been tagged into it. They never posted it themselves, but because they were tagged into it, because they didn't change their settings to allow that tag to be only present if they accepted it.
If they accept it, yeah.
But it was automatic. It's automatically on there.
So now they have even less control of it because they haven't published it, so they can't even remove it, can they?
Well, if it's a social media post, like a Facebook post, you can always find that person, untag yourself. You can even go into Facebook and revoke Facebook from displaying your social media stuff on Google. on search engine platforms. But you need to know about these things. This is the point. A lot of us don't know about these.
Did you Google? Have you Googled yourself?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Okay. How did you? What did you see in the?
Well, mine automatically comes up as Majid Waris, which is someone who's a footballer, a Nigerian footballer.
I saw that guy,
Yeah.
and I tell you how I saw him. I wasn't looking for him.
Yeah.
I think you hashtagged your name somewhere.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if it was
as
on
part
purpose
of
or whatever.
My branding, yeah.
As your branding, you hashtagged your name. So I'm not very good with the internet. I didn't know that Facebook works with hashtags. So anyway, I clicked the hashtag, and yeah, this African footballer comes up.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's any good or not, but he's
yeah. I mean, this is only happening in the last few years that I've noticed, because I check every few years. I don't need to check every day or whatever. Every few years I'll give it a check. And there's a Nigerian footballer comes up with my name, presumably because his social profile is higher than mine.
Okay.
Right, because he's a professional.
So he's coming
footballer.
Up higher in the search.
But what Google would do is it will ask me. We searched for Majid Waris. We found Majid Waris. Did you mean Majid Waris, or do you actually mean Majid Waris? And I'm thinking, my name.
That's my name. I think I know my name.
Give me my name back. Do you know what I mean?
Also, is he Majid then?
He's Majid Waris.
Okay.
Yeah. But some outlets, media outlets,
report it as Majid.
Majid Waris.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, when you Google your own name, you find some scary shit. I'm telling you, of some other people. I've Googled other people's name who are reputable in the business world.
Interesting. Okay, are we spilling the tea now? Yeah.
I'm not going to mention any names, but somebody said that to us. We have a WhatsApp group for business networking, right? And somebody kept being adamant. Google yourself, right? I think, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why do you want me to Google myself?
Oh, everybody Googled themselves.
Yeah, but he was adamant after, because he had a bee in his bonnet about someone else in the group.
Okay.
And he wanted people to Google his name more than anybody else. So
like
he's a bit cheeky.
Subtle.
He's a naughty why.
Yeah.
Right? So when I Googled his name, I thought, oh crap, this guy's been on all sorts of things for all sorts of reasons.
No disclosure, no name. But I want to know what came up. We're all adults here. It's fine.
No. It was it was related to extremist activities.
Wow.
Yeah, or that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, but this person has got a fair bit of following from within the community.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I thought it'd be a bit more. But okay.
So yeah, it's interesting what you get to see about people when you Google them. But the point here is, there are lots of issues surrounding the whole, digital medium, because we do leave our digital footprint everywhere. I mean, imagine when we do things like checking in. I mean, look at Google Android phones and iOS iPhones, who track you wherever you go, unless you opt out.
Yes. So, and to be fair, sometimes even when you opt out, I personally don't believe that the GPS is ever well and truly off.
Okay.
There's no way they'd know some of the things that they know
about you.
About where you are, about what you do.
There's no way.
Honestly,
Google would want.
This is going to sound weird.
Something about
this
me
is
that
weird. I understand.
That even my wife don't know.
I understand location services being on,
yeah.
And you go to a restaurant or you go to a shop or a certain place,
yeah,
and then they show you ads about it or whatever. I get it.
Yeah.
I've even come to terms with Facebook or other, like eBay, for example, showing you ads on things that maybe you've searched or online shopping that you've done.
That's because you've opted in.
Yeah.
For ads.
So it took me a while to get my head around Facebook knowing what I've been talking about verbally, not on social media, verbally, with my phone within the vicinity. Not on, just your phone's just there, lying there, dead, isn't it?
Yeah, we've done this, haven't we? We've had discussion amongst groups.
Yeah. And
whatever we were talking about suddenly happened to pop up on our phones as adverts on Facebook and other mediums, yeah?
Yes.
So you could suggest that the microphone's listening in on these things. There was also this recent thing about Sony releasing a statement to say that if you've got one of our smart TVs, do not talk about personal matters.
It's listening, yeah. Was with Alexia and I forgot the other one's name. What's the other device?
Oh, Alexa, Google Home.
Yeah, all of these guys.
Yeah.
They have to be listening.
Yeah.
Otherwise, how would they listen up for their name?
Yes.
Or whatever else,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think it's an option to well and truly turn them off.
No, you can't, because otherwise you can't call them out if they're not listening. Even on your phones, when we say, okay.
I've got a PlayStation at home.
Yeah.
And I'm not very good with tech, but I set up the VR,
right.
virtual reality, so your headset, webcam, sensors, you know. And my kid will be watching on Netflix, or he'll just be watching TV through the PlayStation. Every now and again, in the corner of the TV, the mic will come up with the kind of graphs going up and down, as if it's like, what?
Yeah.
What are you listening to? Why are you listening? And I don't know whether it thinks that we've said a command or something. And I didn't even realize that it's on, because we haven't used the virtual headset. We're not kind of, you know, no voice activation or anything. It's just strange. It's just weird. Smart TVs, smartphones. I think the only dumb thing in the room is us sometimes.
Well, this is, you know what? It's a good question, because people have begun to accept it now, haven't they? To a large degree. And I think there is an argument to be made. There's got to be a balance that needs to be struck, but there's an argument to be made. Like, okay, so what? So what if companies have all that information on you, if you're not doing anything wrong, and if you're not, if you want an easier life and can have suggestions based on, you know, there's an argument there, right or wrong. It's still an argument. You got to look at the other end of the scale, right? So you can say to somebody, look, I don't want my information to be taken by companies without my permission. Fine, but if you've given them implicitly, without, maybe you don't even realize you're giving them the permission.
Yeah. Have you seen people who will copy paste a post onto Facebook? I do not consent to my images.
It means jack diddly.
It means nothing.
Yeah. So I've seen this. Nab, if he's watching, he's usually watching. He does that. So I'm going to call him out now. Anybody who copies and pastes posts to say, I do not consent to Facebook giving, or, you know, authorize Facebook for the use of my pictures, which are private, as a post, it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. You have to physically opt out from certain things. Well, certain things you can't opt out from.
No, you can't. But once if you agree to use Facebook, you're pretty much consenting to the most part anyway. Yeah, sometimes they'll give you the perceived kind of, what's the word? So they'll give you an option of, do you want targeted ads or not? Do you want to show that this is a hobby or not? But I've tried all the different settings. The truth is, they still kind of find what you've been talking about, discussing, searching, doing, and they'll still put it right there in front of your face.
Because that's not just Facebook itself. It's also partnering advertising companies. So there might be other apps installed on your phone by default who are listening in on those things, who you've given permission to share that information with other platforms, such as Facebook, such as other platforms who want that information. So, you know, when we think about our online privacy, you asked the question, is it a thing of the past? Maybe it's getting towards there. Maybe people have gotten so fed up about screaming and shouting about it, think, you know what, have it all.
It used to mean something. Privacy used to be valued, I think. I believe it was cherished.
On that note, sorry to cut you short, ironically, I was watching this interview about Barack Obama last night, and a comedian was interviewing him, and he said the words, anonymity is something you only appreciate when you no longer have it.
After it's gone,
yeah.
True, very true.
Because as a president, obviously, of the US, he can no longer remain anonymous.
Oh, he can't do anything. No, he can't, no.
Or former president. But anonymity, some people want that anonymity. They don't want to be in the limelight or in the public light. So you're right. But what I'm saying is, on this side of the camp, though, there are people who will say, yeah, take all my information. I don't care, as long as it makes my life easier. If I've searched for something on eBay, I don't mind seeing ads again in Facebook for something that related to my search, if it gives me a better product or a cheaper rate. Do you know what I mean? Some people say, I'm not doing anything wrong. I've got nothing to fear. I've got nothing to worry about.
Is it? That's not the point.
It could be for them.
A lot of people do get to that stage, and I can appreciate their view, their opinion on that, is that, well, actually, I'm not searching anything wrong. So have my information, have my data, know my name, my details, my favorite color, what underwear I'm wearing, everything. I don't care. I've got nothing to hide. That bugs me.
Yeah, if it doesn't bug them, what's your problem?
The problem is nothing is sacred anymore. You know, what people won't do for this whole social media currency of likes,
Yeah.
hearts, comments, shares. Tell your soul, why don't you? You know,
But that's their problem.
it is their
Why have you got to
problem.
be in your bonnet for?
The thing is, if it's so universally accepted, that means the few people who want to remain a little bit private, a little bit reserved, have to forfeit that right. Because things like WhatsApp, things like Facebook, things like having a smartphone
Yeah.
cannot be had without accepting certain settings.
Yeah, you're right.
But if everybody refused that setting,
Well, you're not going to get everyone conforming to the same ideas.
you're not now. You're not now.
Well, I don't think you ever
Once you
are.
get past 30, 40, 50%, 60%, the app makers, they know.
They know what?
Facebook now is too big.
Yeah.
And you can't take them to court, and you can't
Well,
do this, and
lobby against them.
you can't do nothing.
Well, they have though. They have been in front of some kind of Senate.
Yeah, but did you watch that?
Not all of it.
It was comical, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, there was one lady that put them to right a little bit. I forget her name now. Trump's not a fan of her. I think she's part Mexican or some kind of heritage. She asked some very valid questions. But point being is, nothing's happened.
Oh, about manipulating what people saw on their Facebook feeds. So people who were in politics,
yes,
running campaigns on Facebook, which
can you lie?
Yeah.
Can you advertise lies
on Facebook and get away with it?
And the answer is yes, you can. We may fact check them afterwards, but you can.
I think the biggest issue, or the biggest conundrum people worry, I should say, people face when it comes to their details on social media platforms or any platform is, how secure are my details, and would they fall into the wrong hands? There have been instances where places like Facebook, even Uber, their servers have been breached by hackers who have got millions and millions of people's private information and details.
This happened not long ago
and it was covered up for a couple of years. They tried to pay him off and stuff.
Yeah, I remember.
That, I think, is the main worry. To think that, okay, so they're saying that if you've got old accounts, for example, let's just say you had an account with Yahoo and now you use Gmail. You're not using Yahoo, close it down.
Yeah.
Because if it's no longer secure, you're not logging in and you're not changing your password, someone can get still your information, your name, your date of birth, and possibly even your address or whatever. If you've got a contact saved in there as yourself,
you'll have something in there.
And that's the other thing. You've got other people's contact details in your contacts.
Yeah. If somebody was to manage to get into your email account, it's only a matter of time before they piece together your life.
Yeah.
Because at some point or another, you'll have ordered something to your house.
Yeah.
A courier, a parcel, something you bought online. You've got an email confirmation. Your date of birth, etc., will be on there. Your name's obviously on there. If they're to go through enough of your emails, they will be able to fit the jigsaw. And that, you're right. That's a worry. Our data is, I want to say, invaluable because it's so easily compromised. It's everywhere, isn't it? So privacy, not worth its weight. Well, definitely not in gold, but not even in.
Well, Zahur says, reference to Ali's comments earlier, smartphones can still be tracked even if location services and GPS are turned off. According to Princeton University researchers, the technique called Pin Me shows it is possible to track a location even if the location services, GPS and Wi-Fi are turned off.
Even if the phone is off.
Wow.
Yeah, this is true. Somebody did this. They did an experiment where they brought a brand new iPhone. They're still in the Apple store. They switched it. Put it into airplane mode, and they switched it off. They walked to the museum. They walked to some food place. I forgot the clothes shop, but whatever. They walked around a couple of places.
Yeah.
Went home later that day, turned it on, logged into Facebook, whatever, like you do, and they're getting ads for these places that they've been to.
Wow. what would be the value in that information, that kind of information, from a company's point of view, from a provider's point of view?
That's mega bucks.
No, but what would be the value?
For example, if I could tell marketing companies every single detail about yourself.
Okay, so they can, yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
Whether you wear glasses, what type of glasses, what type of clothes, what size of clothes, what movies you like to watch, what music you listen to, what shoes you wear, what car you drive, you know what, absolutely everything. Think about it. And I can do that over and over and over with literally every person.
Down to a T.
Exactly that.
Oh, wasn't there this documentary of some kind, a short documentary, when people were going into a tent and they were meeting some kind of a clairvoyant, and that person was telling them about everything, everything about their life. This is your dog. This is your bank account has about this much money.
Yeah, wow.
That to that extent, right? Yeah. And they were like, shocked, this guy's amazing, you know. He knows everything about us. Maybe have some kind of a jinn.
Well, I did see a sketch of a guy in California. He did that,
and it turned out he was just checking social media.
Yeah, that's all he did his homework, and he pulled him up on the street and he says, sorry to disturb you, I'm getting this image of, you know, this pet, and I'm getting the name of your grandparent and this and that, and you drive this and you work here and you're in this kind of business, and it was just.
Have you seen a movie called Now You See Me?
Yeah, I think so.
Magicians.
With the four magician there. Yeah, I've seen that.
They do something similar in one of them.
Morgan Freeman's in that, isn't it?
Yeah, that one. That's a pretty good movie, that is.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
And it makes you think how people can get in your information and fool you, thinking that they know more about you than you probably do. Do you know what I mean? Or probably remember.
Yeah, but it's a hustle, isn't it? It's all a hustle.
It is a hustle.
These clairvoyants and everything, it's ridiculous. So,
bringing that forward, does it mean that we just accept it now, or do we fight against it? Here's the thing. I'm on the fence a little bit about some things, because to me, I don't mind certain things, not my personal details, address, whatever, you know, telephone number, email address. I even have, you know, you can use ghost email addresses. So this is another thing this guy mentioned.
Like a PO box.
Not just address, but email address. Yeah. So this guy who did the speech, he mentioned you can set up ghost email addresses. So you can subscribe to a service, and they give you a ghost email address rather than your own personal email address.
Okay.
And then everything that you want to come into your email address, you can get it into your email. So you're not giving your own personal email address out to people, which is also a clever idea, because email addresses.
A lot of the bigger companies are doing it. For example, I work in the fast food industry. A lot of the third-party platforms like Just Eat or Uber Eats, or these kind of guys, before they would disclose the customer data, their full name, their address, obviously they have to give the delivery address, with their contact number, and what other companies were doing, or the eateries themselves were compiling this data and trying to, you know, bring them away. So Just Eat's so clever. They now only disclose the first name that's given, no surname, and the phone number is a masked phone number. So it goes through to them. You enter the order ID, press hash, and then it diverts to the customer's phone number. You see literally no information about that customer. So it just shows how valuable data is. And Just Eat hold their cards very close to their chest, because it's,
you know, there are instances like that where you feel having that level of security or information to people's, you know, private details is justified. Not in a commercial perspective. Let's just think about security elements. Let's just think about national security. Yeah, there are some things which I think are taken too far, but there are some, in some ways, you know what surprised me? You know, I worked in Saudi Arabia for a number of years, right? So
you mentioned
in Mecca, they have one of the most advanced AI systems,
I've heard about
facial recognition systems in the world, right?
I've been meaning to actually confirm that with you. It's true, right?
It's true. They have. And I'll give you an example. My driver there, he was telling me the story about his friend who was working on a project close by to the Haram. And he came in to perform the Umrah, the minor pilgrimage in the Haram. and some incident took place. I don't want to go into the incident. Some incident took place in the haram. So the security people mistook him for him being the culprit in that particular incident. They brought him to the security office, and they said to him, "Look, you're banned now. You're no longer allowed to come here." Now, he goes away from there. He's still working in Saudi, mind. 10 years later, he comes back. Obviously, he's grown older. He's got a beard and whatever, facial changes and stuff. He comes in, as soon as he walks in, the facial recognition system picks it up, and he's caught straight away. My own driver, what he did was he found some money on the floor in the Mataf area where we do the circumambulations. So whilst he was doing tawaf, he picked up the money and he took it to the security officers in the masjid. When he took him there, and the guy at the security office opened the door, he says, "Faddal ya Ashik," as in, "Come in, oh Ashik." His name is Ashik. He's like, "Hey, how did you know my name?" So he comes in and he gives him the money and he says, "Okay, thank you," and have a brief discussion. And then said, "Well," he, out of curiosity, he asked, "How do you know my name? Yeah, this is the first time we've met." And then he showed him the system. He says, "Look, have a look at this. That's your name. That's where you work. This is your salary. This is where you live."
Oh wow!
All of that, yeah. So all of that and everything. This is when your visa expires. This is when you need to renew it.
And bear in mind, this is a place which can have, what we're talking, up to maybe 2 million people at a time, or over a period of time, right?
No, even the capacity for the main mosque is 2 million now, just over 2 million.
2 million at one time.
Yeah, that's just the mosque itself. Not forget the
okay,
just the actual mosque. Yeah.
So they hold that data for 10 years plus.
I don't know how long they hold it
Amazing.
for. But
because you know why? There was a bit of a conspiracy theory amongst one of the groups that this whole lockdown and everything else and 2 meter distancing, social distancing, it's only so the cameras can recognize each person clearly and track your movements and everything. And I said, no, I'm sure I remember hearing about Saudi Arabia and places like Hong Kong. They can be a stampede, but they'll still pick up each individual face.
Yeah.
You can be crowded, you can be shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
And they'll still know this is that person, that person.
I have not known of any system so advanced as I have heard about, I've been told about when it comes to
Which begs the question, Maj. They use it and they openly use it. They tell us this is what it's for, this is what we're doing, this is where we have. The Saudis haven't developed this software.
Yeah, from what I understand, it was produced by an Israeli company.
Okay, so it's not there.
It's been imported.
It's not
so
exclusive.
The question is, where is that information going?
Yeah, where's the information going, and who else has it?
Yeah,
because Saudis are great for a number of things, but engineering and these kind of things, no.
Well, most of their technical and everything. Look, I was imported for my speciality.
Manufacturing, everything.
A lot of it's run by expats, isn't it?
Yes.
So a lot of the expertise in Saudi is imported. So even like if the technology is imported, the question always remains: things like that kind of information, does it stay in Saudi or does it get out of Saudi?
No chance.
We can obviously make our presumptions and stuff, but if it's a big brother kind of
this is more than big brother. This is, I want to say big daddy or something. Big papa, man. This is next level. It really is. But then that's our fault. We put such little value on our data, on our privacy, on our information, and this is what we get.
Again, in some instances, I would say you could understand the camp that says it's fine, have this bit of information if it makes my life easier. Think about things like facial recognition on smartphones, thumbprints or fingerprints, biometrics,
eye retina recognition.
Yeah. Now imagine if that got leaked.
Imagine this stuff gets sold.
Yeah, right. Actually, but when it comes to
no accident.
No, but when it comes to biometrics, I might be naive now, but isn't the policies of all these gadgets to have that data only stored in the actual physical handset, but the encrypted version of it maybe on other places as a backup?
That's what they say. That's what they tell us. But you know what? It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Yeah, fine. Have my name. There you go. Have my date of birth. It doesn't matter. Have my memorable information. Have my address. Have my, whatever else. Listen to my microphone when my phone is off. Know where I am and where I go. Okay, I've got nothing to hide. When does it stop? It doesn't.
What kind of adverts do you think we'll see on our phones after this conversation?
After this show? Oh, I don't know, man. I get emails from, I don't know which recruitment company it is, asking to join the MI5.
No way.
That they're hiring, yes.
I had a friend who was asked to join the MI5 once as well.
Seriously?
Well, maybe that's why. You'd blend in.
Yeah, I'm sure. 6'6", beard, bald. Yeah, nobody would mistake that person.
So it's Nab says biometrics is nothing new. Time and attendance systems are fingerprint and eye recognition. Yeah, okay, yeah. Even in workplaces already.
I don't do it. I've never used, and it's not worth anything, and it's not really taking much of a stance, and I haven't shouted about it, but I've never used eye retina recognition or fingerprint recognition on any of my devices or anything. I just won't do it.
I do. Makes my life easier.
It does make your life easier, but then that's the whole point, isn't it?
I've bought into the idea that according to their systems, if it's only stored into the device and not on the cloud.
Is that what you kind of tell yourself? That it's like,
yeah,
it's like having a incognito mode in your browser, isn't it?
But yeah, it does jack diddly. Apparently.
That does, or is that what you... Okay, never mind.
No, so the incognito mode isn't so incognito as you'd like to believe.
No. And it's... What's the word when you try and console yourself or something? You try and make yourself feel better about, it's fine, it's no problem. Okay, so I've took that measure, I've got a firewall, I've got an antivirus, I've got, I don't know, I put, do you remember when people used to put tin foil around their phone or their aerial or something?
Yeah.
And all of these things,
Yeah.
It's just whatever makes you feel that little bit safer or better about your decisions.
You know what's dangerous is when people start to take your information and you've given it willingly without knowing that it's not actually the organization you presumed you were talking to.
Yeah.
They're masked by that kind of... It's really, some of them have become really clever nowadays. So they will send you an email pretending to be your current, I don't know, electricity supplier or whatever.
Or a text message.
And they'll have a link in there which looks genuine, like BT or British Gas and stuff like that.
But there's a dash or a dot somewhere.
Yeah. It's very minor. And normally people would overlook it. So they'll see the email address. It looks, oh, okay, it is from British Gas. But it might say British with a H and the S spelled the wrong way around.
Yeah, or British.gas or something like that.
Or something like that. And just because of that one minor thing, they will go into the details or go into that link and add their bank details to update, because it might say, the email might say your
payment bounce and you're going to be cut off. Yeah,
we need to update your details
all the time. It happens.
Yeah,
so
having systems upgrade or something.
I think one guy actually, so he was called and said, look, your computer's got a virus, switch it on, enter this command, this. I know
somebody, I was having one of our friends.
I'll be able to kind of, help you through it.
One of my friends got duped into £500. He lost £500.
What this guy did is, he was a computer genius. I don't know if he was a hacker or whatever, but he was a genius. What he was able to do was find out where this call was coming from, find the building on Google Images, whatever, and tap into their CCTV.
Okay.
So he was watching the person in the scam office calling him, and he was able to see their screen. Oh my God.
I think I saw
brilliant,
one
absolutely
on YouTube
brilliant.
once as well. The guy actually went into his system instead of his own, and locked it and said, "Now you give me money for me to unlock you."
Yeah.
But that brings you onto the question, doesn't it? What about when you go into places and they give you free Wi-Fi?
I don't use it.
Like Sweet Retreat.
Yeah, I don't use it. I'll offer it, but I don't use it. I'll tell you one thing. Even with Sweet Retreat, we had some companies who said, "Okay, we'll charge this much." Two reasons I didn't go for them. One, I'm stingy. They were charging too much money for free Wi-Fi. It didn't make sense. I could just have a normal fiber optic, broadband, and that would more than do the job. But these guys wanted quite a lot of money. One reason. Second reason, they wanted each person to log in. So enter their email address and their name or their phone
Data
number.
capturing.
You just enter it, and then you go as far as you want. They're collecting my customers' data.
Yeah, and you're paying for it.
And I'm paying for it. Where's the logic in that? I know I am stupid, but I'm not that stupid. And I thought, nah.
So does that mean that the actual product is us? We are the product. We are the product.
Of course we are. And we're cheap.
Cheap products.
We're cheap products. We have value.
Yeah.
But we're bought and sold very cheap. You couldn't think of 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago where companies would know so much about us. They had to work hard, you know? They had to guess. They had to do trial and error and surveys and just set up big, elaborate shops and everything. And now they can get to us when we're sitting at home.
Because it makes life easier for for most people.
But they get that data so cheap.
So nothing is really free, is it?
No.
So when you think about, social media platforms, they're free anyway. Facebook is free, it doesn't cost you any money.
Zuckerberg is a billionaire.
Multi-billionaire.
I mean, I was going to use a different B word, but we'll see, we're talking about money.
Bazillion.
Man's a billionaire.
Yeah.
You know, and Facebook is free.
Yeah.
Someone do the math on that one.
Well, is it free?
Good point.
It's not, is it? There is a cost, and the cost is
us. It's not a subscription.
What's the price you pay for the free product?
Yeah.
Hey, I should coin that. I'll rewind and watch it.
Is that new one?
That's a new one. It just came to me now. What's the price you pay for free products?
Very true.
Actually, I'll write a post.
Why don't we value our privacy, man? That bugs me. You know, we should. We should
value our privacy. Again,
but we can't now. Our kids can't. Our kids' privacy is worth nothing. And it's not even a choice. They can't do anything about it. They have to be on Facebook. They have to be on Instagram. They have to have Zoom and WhatsApp.
In their mind, it's a must. It's a need.
No, they have to.
What do you mean they have to?
Because their school requires it. Their friends and their social circles.
The schools don't require
it. They do.
Come on, man.
With the whole lockdown, they're having online classes.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean they have to be on Facebook or Instagram.
Well, they have to have internet.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean
they have to go on to Zoom.
Yeah, you sound like one of your kids yourself now. I have to
I need it.
I need it. Come on, yeah. It's not. The schools don't say you have to be on social media. Yes, the school require you to have internet so you can have meetings and classes.
So the school will require certain things, but in order to have friends or have a social circle or have knowledge of anything, you have to have social media. It's not even gone are the times where some people have it, some people don't.
You know, I keep seeing adverts on YouTube. Whenever I open a YouTube video, sometimes you get recommended ads or ads. I keep seeing an ad on YouTube about how to track someone's WhatsApp usage and who are they messaging and how long have they been on a call and stuff like that. And the link is related to kids. So if you've got kids, you can keep a track on with their WhatsApp usage. I've not opened the link or not clicked on the link. It looks a bit odd. My sister has the same thing for her son. So she's in London, and her youngest son, who's a young teenager, he will have his own smartphone, but she gets to see all his phone activity on her phone. She can see exactly what apps he's downloaded, who he's talking to, all that kind of thing. It's really interesting.
Does she use it for her husband as well? I'm sure she doesn't. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think she needs to be honest, but
wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. Mixed emotions, man.
Why? Would you? If you
there's such a
here's the question. Do you, if you have concerns, would you actually use tracking apps to track your partner or partners, or would that be overstepping the mark? If you're okay to share that information with a big corporate company,
that's the difference, isn't it? Why not with your partner or your spouse?
Oh, you're gonna open up some kind of worms here.
But that's again, it's privacy. Look,
what?
People negate.
You're gonna negate your privacy when it comes to corporate companies.
But I think that's the difference.
With your
unseen, isn't it?
I'm not saying that I would do it,
because you've never you've never seen a person listen to your phone or your phone recordings or your, you know, eBay activities or whatever.
They're not going to tell anyone.
You don't know that they exist. You know they're out there, and you know
Yeah.
companies are gathering this information, but you've never seen it or heard it. Well, no one, you've never crossed anyone in the street and that guy says, "Sure, Rati ka search karne se bhai." So you know you're not gonna have that.
Yeah, exactly.
But if it was your parents or your spouse and they knew every single thing that you ever did or talked about, I think we'd have more objection to that.
So I wonder how many people would actually be comfortable with giving their partners, husbands, wives, whatever, access to all their phones activities or share the phone activities.
I think they'd all have their own reasons, wouldn't they? Some people are comfortable with it.
You could argue, I would argue, if you feel that they have to be shared, there's lack of trust there.
This is the thing. I don't have a lock on my phone. My phone is open.
You're just scared your wife might chop your finger off just to get the phone unlocked.
Just for the fingerprinting. It's open. You know, you don't have to go to any elaborate schemes and download apps and do tracking devices and everything. It's there. Granted, most times I'll be on it and it's in my pocket, but it's in the house. I'll put it on charge. I'll put it there. It's there. You know, if you have to, you have to. If it's on your mind and it's causing you issues or doubts or anxieties or thoughts, then better you just have a look at it. You know, rather than to play out different scenarios in your head and all the rest of it.
And asking you cryptic questions.
Yeah.
Giving you example scenarios.
Yeah, don't put yourself through sleepless nights and stuff, man. I'm going to the bathroom. No, how are you on charge? You know, just
have a look at it if you want to.
But privacy isn't valued the slightest unless it comes to people that we can see and hear.
You know, in certain countries, when you go to certain countries, Israel is a classic example. You go to Israel, and from what I've heard from people who visit Israel or Jerusalem for, you know, like trekking or visiting Palestine even, their security is next level. They check your social media, and if you've said anything against, they detain people quite regularly just to question them, more than any other country, from what I heard. I don't know how true that is, but apparently they really get into your.
But they've got a lot to hide, a lot to be ashamed of, a lot of reason to feel that way, and it comes back to the same thing. If you've got nothing to hide, you're cool with it. You're fine. You're at ease. You're comfortable. You know, guilt-free. With the likes of Israel or the likes of some other kind of dictatorship or, you know, less than legit organization, you don't like this whole freedom of speech, freedom of expression. So you're gonna have more of an objection to it. Otherwise, you know, we have freedom of speech in the rest of the world, except Israel. Why?
Yeah, I think they, in their minds, they justify it differently, but they have some of the most advanced systems to get information about people.
I think they all have it. I think Saudi,
they created
Israel,
a lot of these systems, like Intel chips. I think they're made by.
They'll sell it. They'll happily sell it to the US and all their other friends and allies. The difference is, the US like to paint a different, rosier picture,
like a more positive.
Yeah, you have freedom. You can be liberal. You can be this. You can express yourself. You can be male, female, gender fluid, liquid, solid, furniture. You can be whatever you want. Yeah, but really, they're keeping a tab on you. They're gathering all kinds of information, everything they know. They're not stupid. Israel and Saudi, for whatever reason, they're quite open. It's not very often or very many things you can say that Israel or Saudi are commendable in anything. But one thing is, they are what they are. They're what you see, kind of thing, isn't it? The less said of that, the better. But it's true. They have that technology. They tell you. Do you think the MI5? Do you think the UK don't have that technology?
Of course, I think every nation does. I think every nation.
We'd be naive. We'd be naive if we thought, you know, we didn't have that technology.
Yeah. At least like in the background. So What is your digital footprint?
Depends who you are and what you've been up to, isn't it?
Something to be cautious about, conscious about?
Yes. If you ever plan on doing anything significant in your life, then yes. Be it apply for a job, maybe less so for a job, but if you're ever going to be any form of public figure, and I'm not talking politics or prime minister or anything, but anything, you know, if you're going to be a voice or a face or have something to say, if you have something to say, you better know about what you've said.
Yeah.
Be it yesterday, be it 10 years ago. Didn't some of these MPs have a tweet brought up from 8 years ago, 6 years ago?
Yeah. But...
and it wasn't even a particularly, you know, horrible tweet. It was just not in line with their political party.
Yeah, and dirt gets brought back into the limelight, doesn't it?
Cyber dirt is the worst. Ain't no washing powder, no Daz Ultra, Ariel, flipping personal. What's the other one? What's the pink one? The magic stain one? I don't know what it is, man. You just rub it on. It's not coming off.
Vanish. It won't make it vanish.
Yeah, it won't. It won't.
So the question is online privacy a thing of the past now?
Yes.
Do you think we've gone past that caring phase and
we
just past. Kind of...
Not only have we accepted that...
We've embraced it.
We've embraced it. We encourage it now. Have you seen some of the things that people are sharing online for likes?
Yeah, I mean, the amount of things people share. I mean, I'm surprised and flabbergasted at some point. I've seen posts where it's disgusting stuff.
I'm sure you have.
No,
I'm sure you have.
No, seriously, I'm not that kind of disgusting. Well, it was that kind of disgusting, but it was so unexpected. It was somebody who has a certain kind of a persona, but they posted something which is completely, you can't even say, maybe it wasn't out of character, but it was something that wasn't brought into the limelight or shared with the public before. And then afterwards, that person deleted the post because they got a lot of flack for it. And then they said, well, you know what? It was mine.
But it could have gone either way.
Yeah, it could have
gone either way.
Yeah, because some people do have this thing.
Had it got lapped up and be their most popular post of 2017 or whenever it was,
yeah,
that's the route they're now taking. They're on that path now.
This is it. So yeah, people are now sharing lots of bizarre stuff on social media. Some incredibly weird and like, oh, what the hell? I've actually unfriended a few people.
I'm worried about you, man. I'm gonna have to check your search history.
Lele.
I'm not seeing that much bizarre stuff on my feed, man.
I'm stuck for punishment. I attract the crowd. So
okay.
So no, I
get it though. I get what you're saying.
Give everyone a chance.
Yeah, sure you do.
But so yeah, it's. I think you're right. It has become a thing of the past. Now we've started to embrace. We've started to embrace things rather than, I don't know, push back from it. But does that mean that we start slacking? I don't think so. I think we still need to be very conscious of our own way of doing things online, because there are lots of scammers out there who will take that information and they'll fish for you. You know, phishing as in PHI.
Use the most basic thing. Your name. Would it kill you to misrepresent a letter in your name on social media, or a nickname, or something,
or even change your name?
Even change your name. Why? Social media can be your nickname or a name that you had or you want to be known as or whatever. You know, simple things, the little things, isn't it?
Majid just changed to Magic.
I would. I've never used my actual name on social media. I just don't see the reason. I'll go on to Facebook and it'll ask me.
He's not Ali, by the way.
I'll go on to Facebook and I'm like, so you've got my name, you've got my date of birth, you've got my everything, email, whatever. And now you have the nerve to ask me what's on my mind. Like the one thing that I haven't already told you, every time I click onto your app, you're asking
on Facebook,
me, what's your thoughts?
Yeah.
What are you thinking? What's on your mind?
What's on your mind? Yeah. So how cyber secure are you is the question. I think it depends on who you are and how conscious you are and how informed you are about how to be cyber secure. to be cyber secure. And I think, as a general rule, as a general advice, I would advise everyone to at least take some time out to learn about what all this means and how to make themselves more secure if they haven't done already. Just simple things like recognizing phishing emails, spam emails, how to pick up on them, things like what your privacy settings are and how to change those privacy settings on social media if you're using social media, depending on what you're using it for. Personally, a lot of my social life is like an open book because it's meant to be that way. It's for my personal branding. I will add some personal touches to it sometimes, but most of the times it's mostly kind of
if it's with due diligence and it's with some thought, if it's premeditated, it's thought out, it's strategy, you put out there what you want to be out there, fine. But sometimes I think you have to be somewhat insecure in order to be cyber secure. You see what I mean? Don't be too naive in giving up data all the time. You
should coin that. Write that as one of your own quotes. So, does our need for sharing data compromise our data? Yes.
Very much so. Scary so sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. So, is it a coincidence that you're seeing ads for the thing you were just talking about? No, it's not a coincidence. It's all.
I'm afraid not. No.
It's all engineered.
The only thing I'm waiting for now is for Facebook to know what I'm thinking. And then, because if they start showing me ads on some thoughts that I had or a dream that I had, oh my god!
I don't think we're too far away from those days.
Probably not.
And really, are we the products? I think ultimately we are the product.
I think it's starting to register now. I think we know it.
Yeah,
we are the product.
The Big Brother knows. Big Daddy even knows more than our brothers. And on that note, just to get this wrapped up, it was interesting nevertheless, and there's probably a lot more we can discuss on this place. So thanks for everybody who's tuned in. Same time again next week on our channels. Do subscribe to our channels on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We've got a Facebook page as well, so do subscribe to that, and hopefully we'll see you at the next one.
Same time, same place.
At same time, same place. Does it have to be the same place?
It doesn't have to be. I'm sure they'll find us, or we'll find them.
We'll find you. Yeah, you'll find us as well. Have a good evening, ladies and gents, and we'll see you next week.